You feeling pretty good today, old man? Huh? You feeling pretty good, Turkey, too? Okay. So hey guys, hot, hot, hot. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. We are back home. We've done a major hay run today. We are trying to get as much hay in the barn as quick as possible, and our wonderful friend has just finished baling all of the hay. So that's what we're gonna be working on today. So I'm coming down to the house, bring my little pocketbook. Do you call it a purse or a pocketbook? I call it a pocketbook. I think of my grandmother's, don't you? So anyway, guys, we just got to keep moving along, okay? So there's a lot going on, and it's almost like you have to play the Rocky music when you start putting up hay. Okay, so I went down to the house to get gloves, and James has requested for me to bring the Flex Seal back up. I've mentioned this before in videos in the past, and we're trying to continue to fill in little holes in our barn roof. We think a hailstorm from the past, probably from the one from 2011, put some, little dents, just little holes in the roof. So we don't want that to come in on the hay. So far, he said this has worked really, really well. And I want to mention this also because the other day somebody asked me, how did this work in terms of fixing my sloggers? It actually worked really, really well. But I continue to wear the chicken sloggers. They're old shoes, y'all. I'm probably going to have to Flex Seal them again because you're constantly moving and that rubber is moving. So it will eventually break, but it does prolong them. At least it did for me. So this is something really good to have. If there's another brand, guys, out there of something like this that you find that works even better, tell us because we'd like to know too. All right, let's get this hay going. So yesterday also, we are making big moves as quickly as we can to get items here on the farm for projects. We may not necessarily be working on that project today, but we're trying to make sure that we have the materials. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. So we want to make sure that we have what we can get in order to finish building the woodshed. We do have to finish other small projects. The weather with the rain and then extreme heat has not been very cooperative. So like this right here, I'm going to put across the top of across the top of some of my rabbit cages, because sometimes the turkeys jump up there. Y'all know what turkeys do, right? So this helps because then I can just scrape off and clean it, and then it keeps the rabbit cages really, really clean. All right, so we got the job done. 4 people, we got it done in about 15, 20 minutes or less. So that's pretty good. Today we got 68 bales of hay. We can only carry between 50, actually that's not true, between 60 and 70, depending on the size of the bales. Sometimes when we do our pickup, we may only get 50 because if they're really big, we can't squeeze them as much onto our trailer or in the back of the truck. But today we got 68. I'm trying to pack away a total with what I have and what I'm adding. I'm going to try to go into winter with about 300 this year because, we have goat babies, pending potential goat babies coming, which they won't really nibble a lot of hay until probably, if we have a few and they do well, you're looking at probably not until about December. But that still eats into your food bill. So I'm trying to get up to around 300. So we're going to I've already bought them, and we're going to be, our good friend is holding them for us so that we can come little bits at a time and get 50, 60, 70 at a time and just keep stacking in the barn. We're probably going to have to add some on the side of the barn and cover them. I don't know. We did that last year and it worked really, really well. What we ended up doing is we used them first and then kept the others covered inside, and we made it through the entire winter with no problem. My animals do graze, absolutely, and we don't give a lot of hay right now, just a little bit, not much. It's more of a treat to them than anything, I think. So they are grazing in the pastures. We do try to rotate. I'm actually hoping to expand another paddock down on the other side of the property, like connect it and have it go down there, but fencing is very expensive, especially the type that we try to get, which is the 5 to 6 foot horse fencing, which is the 4x2. We found that it is, while it is a little bit more expensive and you have to budget more for it and plan for it, we have been using it for many years, and we've had that's all we use if we can. So just to put that out there. But here's what I want to say. So even though we got up and did chores, we had our Sunday morning family time, and then we had to go get the hay, because here's the deal. It's 90 degrees today, which is a lot cooler than it was, say, in the past 2 to 3 days, up to like 96 to 99. I know you guys out in Texas, I'm praying for you. All you guys out west, it's horrible. But we're going to drop down. We're supposed to be getting rain. That's why we had to make this happen, because it's supposed to start raining this evening, rain tomorrow and Tuesday. So, the guy was like, I've got it out here ready for you on the trailer. So he would get up there. He's so awesome. He would get up there and he would throw them down to me. I'd pick them up, bring them over to James, and then James would stack it. And then obviously when we get back home, the boys did a lot of the work for us. So I just finished taking care of the animals, and I helped some. I did. It's good for your shoulders. But here's the deal. This is what I want to talk about real quick. So yesterday we went to Home Depot. Whether you like Home Depot or not, I know, it's just, guys, I get it, okay? We had to get lumber. We had to get some lumber because we are trying to finish our woodshed so that we can properly store all of our wood. We've got 3 wood stoves, and we have a lot of wood, and it's very convenient to have during the winter. If the power goes out, or if it's really cold, I'm telling you, it heats the house like no other. It's awesome. And it's nice to cook with on the kitchen. I have the full wood stove in the kitchen. So you got to keep bringing in things that you can, when and how you can, for projects. Now, you're going to be like, well, if I don't plan to do this right now, why would I get the materials? Here's my concern. It's not to be crazy doomsday fearmonger you, but here's what I'm proposing to you. And this is what a lot of my prepared people friends do. Prepared people. They are doing the same thing right now. They say it's too hot to do certain projects outside, but I'm concerned about materials. I'm concerned about certain shortages potentially coming back. I'm worried about what we're going into over the next year. So anytime that I can bring, just like with anything else, whether it's food, whether it's extra towels, a set of sheets, maybe medical items for you or your animals or your children, it's almost like you go, okay, I need to make an extension off of this. And the last time I tried to do that 2.5 years ago to 3 years ago, I couldn't get the materials. So while prices have come down somewhat, especially on lumber, they are better. I think they're better. We went ahead and picked up some items. So when the cool down starts to hit, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we have everything that we need sitting here ready to go. So if something were to get shut down, or if things were to get difficult, or if something happens, at least we know we've done our best to secure as much of the materials as possible that we already knew we were going to have, but we're just not waiting, okay? So this is what I'm saying. You're constantly budgeting when you're homesteading. You guys know this. I don't have to tell you that. It's constant budgeting. It's constant planning, but there's a little caveat here. I really want you to not wait. I don't know what your projects are. I don't know what your needs are. I just want you to have the items available to you when and if you choose to move on building that little chicken coop, or maybe you are going to build a greenhouse, or finish your wood shed, or maybe, finish off some stalls. We've got to finish off some stalls too. So see, we're not even done. But we've gotten a little extra fire under our booty to move a little bit faster to make sure that we have the items here so that we can readily work on them as we need to. But in addition to that, so we had to stop and check the hay one time on the way home, because we drove more than an hour. It's an hour away, but that's where we get the best price, and he helps us out so much. So we love to help our friends out. Community is important. So I ran into a little store, and I just picked up a couple of items for the house today. Checked some prices because I was being nosy. But here's the thing. This is my point. So we got up, we did our barn chores, we're doing our due diligence, we're doing the normal things. We've gone to get hay, all of those things. But along the way, where and when and how we could, obviously I said, I'm going to run in here for 5 minutes. I might see something on sale. There might be something that I think that will fill a hole in my pantry. I just wanted to just, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm trying to bring home to you right now. The times that we're in right now are so uncertain, but it's important for you to be prepared for at home, because you're not just taking care of you. If you're like me, you've got kids. Even if they're big kids, they're still kids. And you also have a lot of animals. So, you know, if you start to feel sick, you can't just drop everything and run to the store to try to find some Mucinex. And, oh, what if they don't have any? Do you see what I'm saying here? So it's just continuing a little bit at a time to bring things home, to bring things to your pantry, to bring things to your barn, to prepare, you know, items that might be going on sale right now that you might need for next spring when planting comes full circle again for you for the springtime. So that's what I really want to stress to you. You don't have to go out today and drop, you know, $1,000 on food supplies or whatever to not, to be preparing. You can do a little bit along the way. $5 here, $6 there, you know, $50 here, you know, just whatever. And unfortunately, I do realize, and as we all do, that inflation hasn't gone anywhere. We all know that's a big fat lie, but it is what it is. So I find that it doesn't hurt as much if we can just do a little bit at a time. It also forces me, when I go a little bit at a time, it helps me to kind of eyeball things mentally. You know, I'm at the point now where I'm like, I have to text myself. Yes, Patera, you need to go, whatever. That's why I put that little dilly on the faucets. I don't have to continue to remind myself to turn the water off or remind Gabriel to turn the water off. Don't tell him I told you. But I just want to encourage you, because you know as well as I do that a lot of things in the news right now, by what I'm hearing, is they're really pushing a lot of things on people. Whether we think things are authentic or not, we know the full story. That, you know, if we go into a same situation that we were in 2020 into 2021, it's going to be hurting a lot of small businesses, and it's going to be hurting a lot of people. That's going to affect a lot of people's income, and that's going to affect a lot of people's jobs. The more prepared you are going into something, if you see the storm coming on the horizon, as I always say, the better off you're going to be. So let's try to combat that. Well, guys, if you don't mind me, I'm going to stop this video, and I'm going to go cool off and drink me some cool water and check the chickens. Make sure everybody is, you know, got full water. This is part of it. Like I said, I'm not wishing summer away, but a little rain and a cool down is going to be nice this week. So that's going to be good. So guys, I just want to say I appreciate you more than you know. Really, honestly, truly. Thank you so much for being so good to our family, and for being such a good community here, and being so good to each other and helping each other. I mean, the comments in the comment section are always so unbelievable, because, you know, you chime in on what you think or whatever, but you also help each other. And that is such a wonderful thing to see, because that's what it's going to take. It really, really is. So listen, I'm going to close out. Guys, just keep plugging away at a little something every single day. Everything counts. If you just buy dental floss, don't forget to get your dental floss. A little thing of dental floss, or a can of soup, or an extra bag of cat food, or you know what you need. You know what you live on. You know what, you know, is good for you and your family. Just keep plugging away at it, okay? And it's going to make you feel so much better. All right, guys, I love you. All right, everybody looks good. We're safe. Everything's done. Thank you, Lord. All right, like, subscribe, and share. We've got a great selection of videos coming up this week. It's going to be busy. Yes, it is. And I'm working back up on that 5K 2 weeks away. Hey, if I have to walk half of it, it's okay. Mama's still in her goal range. She's getting up every day and doing what she needs to do. We're not going to beat ourselves up. You're not going to beat yourself up. I'm not going to beat myself up. We're just going to keep plugging away, doing the best that we can, because that is exactly what Granny did. Like, subscribe, and share. Appreciate you. Godspeed. Love you. And we'll see you on the next video.